South Indian meal has this. You have the rice, sambar or rasam, and a side of, bowl of vegetables. Vegetables that are cooked simply, seasoned perfectly, often finished with touches like coconut and curry leaves. And this side dish is the one that completes a South Indian plate. Welcome to Pooja to Pantry. And this is where South Indian cooking, festivals, and culture come home. This channel is everything I would teach my daughters if I had all the time in the world. And I'm sharing it with you too. So today I'm going to teach you this vegetable side dish in South Indian called Kari. This is not curry. We call it Kari. I know this term is overloaded. It's basically a short term for Kaigari. Kaigari in Tamil means vegetables. For lesser confusion, we can also use another term that is used in South India for this vegetable side dish, which is Poriyal. Alright, it's never the star of the South Indian plate, but the meal is not complete without this side dish being in there. So, I'm going to teach you two different ways to make this Poriyal or curry. And for that, I'm going to use two different vegetables also. And you can use the same method and use any other vegetable in your refrigerator and make this Poriyal or curry. So we will see roasted potato, cubed potato curry. That's one. And then I'll also show you cabbage Poriyal. And I will name also the vegetables, the other vegetables that you can use for that particular method, what goes well. So let's get to it. All right. Let's say the ingredients we need for the roasted potato curry. Olive oil, light olive oil, that's what I use. Just for, since this is a beginner cooking series, I just want to be very clear. Do not use extra virgin olive oil for cooking. It's the extra virgin olive oil you have to consume just as is, like on top of your pastas, on top of your bread, like that. In order to cook, you have to find a light olive oil. It will say in the label also, you can use this for cooking. So the oil and salt, I use sea salt, and mustard seeds. Mustard seeds and asafoetida or hing, a must have in a South Indian kitchen, and sambar powder. That's going to give the spicy effect for the curry. So I use Grand Snacks, a brand of sambar powder, but you can use any brand that's available in Indian stores. We need that, and then potatoes. So I've taken like 4 medium-sized potatoes. 2 people can easily, have this. This will be enough for 2. Now, you can either leave the peel if you like it that way, or take the peel out with your peeler and then cube them. Either you can use your knife and cut it in your cutting board, or use a vegetable cutter like me and cube it. That's all we need for the potato curry. A tip on potatoes. So let's say you are making for a bigger crowd, 6 people, 10 people. And let's say you don't have, not too many other vegetables, planned for the menu. Potato is one of the main side vegetable. Then the way to calculate how many potatoes to use for that is 2 medium potatoes per person. So if you have 6 people, then you will use 12 medium potatoes. But of course you have to, make use of judgment if the potato size is too small, to increase the count, or sometimes you get bigger potatoes, if it is just 1 per person, something like that. But, that's just a tip for cooking bigger anyway. But for today's purpose, this is all we need. Okay, now I have cut the potato. You basically cube them. Looks like this. In the approach that I'm going to show you, you can use most of the root vegetables or starchy vegetables like suran or yam, even plantain. So you peel and cut it into small rounds, like thin rounds, and then use it in the same way that I'm going to show you. You can use okra, lady's finger, eggplant, or brinjal, all these carrots, beetroots. All these you can make in this approach that I am about to show you. Let's see how to do it. All right, first step, we are going to take a non-stick ceramic pan. It's best for making potatoes, so it won't stick. You don't need a lot of oil. But if you don't have it, try to use a heavy bottomed stainless steel pan with a little bit of oil. Once it warms up, we are going to add a teaspoon of mustard seeds. These need to splutter. The flavor of seeds will get in once it splutters in the oil, and then we will have to start cooking. Now you can hear the cracking of the mustard seeds. At this point we can add the hing. Hing brings its best flavor when you directly add it to the oil. And now we add the potatoes. You can keep the heat in medium and let it roast. I added about 2 tablespoons of oil earlier. I'm going to add a little bit more. You don't need too much, but just a little. At this point, let's add the salt. I'm going to eyeball it now, but I will give you exact measurement in the recipe. And with salt, you can always add more later once you taste it, if you need it. So spread the potato like such, so they're not on top of each other too much, and let it roast. This will take about 7 to 8 minutes for the potatoes to roast, but we have to go in and mix around once in a while, so that they don't stick or the bottom of the potato doesn't brown too much on one place. But we're not going to close this. Now you can see the golden color on the roast has become a bit more pronounced. It's closer to being done. Let's give a cut test once again. This time I'm able to cut the potato very easily without much, so it's cooked enough. All right. At this stage, we're going to add the sambar powder. Remember, this is going to add the spice component, so use it as you prefer. I will add about a tablespoon for this much quantity of maybe a little bit more of potato. And the reason we are adding almost at the end is that if you add it earlier, this will get roasted. The powder will get roasted in the oil and give you sort of a bitter taste, and even the flavor will not be as good as you do now. So towards the end, once the potato is cooked and roasted enough, you add it and just roast for a minute or two, and then that's it. We'll stop it. We don't need to roast this for too long. Once we added the sambar powder. See, this one doesn't take any other finishing touch, coconut or curry leaf, anything. Like, that's it. You don't just simple vegetable and minimal seasoning will do wonders. This recipe is one of the popular and favorable among like young kids and adults. All right, our potato curry is done. As you can see, it's golden. It looks inviting, really. So how do you serve this? Now, this is paired with rice, and you can make the rasam that I showed you that in episode 2, I believe. So you can make rasam, and this curry goes perfectly well. And we also, South Indian people are popular for eating yogurt rice. So you mix yogurt into rice with some salt, and even you can mix some asafoetida ready to go. You can take that yogurt rice and pair it with this potato curry. Yummy combination. Now let's see the ingredients we need for cabbage poriyal. Of course, you need cabbage. I'm gonna use about half of this for 2 people, and always remove the top, layer of the cabbage. They're usually damaged and dirty. And you can wash the cabbage and cut it, or cut it and wash it. Doesn't matter. I find it cutting it and then running through the sieve with the water easier. So we need cabbage, and then for cooking this, the oil that I'm going to use is coconut oil, cooking coconut oil. For this type of poriyal, coconut oil always adds a depth of flavor. So I'll highly recommend it if you have it, but if you don't, it's all right. And we also need mustard seeds, hing or asafoetida for seasoning, and urad dal. This is one of the must-have pulses in South Indian kitchen. Another day I'll do a whole episode on various pulses and spices you need in the South Indian kitchen, but just remember urad dal. And we need red chilies. I'm using a couple of them today. This is the spice component for this poriyal. You can also use green chilies if you have them. And I'm going to add curry leaves for flavoring. I have already washed and dried this. And the final component is grated coconut. This is frozen grated coconut. I have let it thaw for some time. If you have fresh coconut, you can use that as well. And if you don't have, this is an optional component. You can avoid it. And when you make this cabbage curry, let's say it needs to stay for an entire day, or you are planning to take it out for picnic or lunch outside, skip the coconut because it will spoil faster. So you can avoid it. But if you're going to consume at home, and if you have the coconut, do add it. It does bring add another level of flavor to it. Let's see, I didn't miss anything else. Yeah, I'll show you once I cut the cabbage how that looks. All right, now I have cut the cabbage like this. That's just a rough chop, small size. Some people like to cut it thin and longer slice. Anything is fine. It's your personal preference. And I'm gonna steam this using a steamer basket like that. You can take any if you have a steamer basket, any type of basket, and fill that. If you don't have a steamer basket, you can directly add it to a pan with a little bit of water. Remember, cabbage has water, so once you add salt and cook it, it'll release a lot of water. So you don't want to add a lot of water, because then you will have to end up filtering it and throwing it, which is waste, because the nutrients of the cabbage might have gotten into the cabbage, the water that you used, unless you're going to just drink it like a soup. So let me restate that again. So how do we cook? So basically we have to steam it for just 3 to 4 minutes. This won't take long. You still want a little bit of crunch. You don't want it to be too soggy. So I will usually steam this in instant pot. You have a steam mode, and I'll press 3 minutes. Now, if you don't have Instant Pot, but if you still have steamer basket, you can take that and put a pan and add some water in it, place the steamer basket and close it. Remember, we are not adding salt at this point. Without salt, you're just steaming it. So in that stove top, with the steamer basket and cover on, you can let it go for 3 to 4 minutes and check on it. You can open and check, and if you want it to be a little bit more cooked through, you can allow another minute. That's another approach, method 2. So method 1 was Instant Pot. Method 2 is stove top in a pan with a steamer basket. Now, you don't have both Instant Pot or steamer basket. Then let's take a pan, add some water, little bit of water, and add the cabbage and close it and let it cook. And you can open and see after 3 minutes if it is cooked enough, whatnot. If there is a little bit of water, that's okay. We can basically get that out by as we're going to season it. At that point of time, that we can cook it, let it through, and make that water evaporate. You don't need to filter it. But if you added too much water, then you may have to filter it out before you season the vegetable. So those are the 3 methods. I'm going to now steam this in Instant Pot, and after that we'll see how we season it. For steaming in the Instant Pot as well, you need to add a little bit of water inside the pot. And then I have placed all my cabbage in this basket. Now you're going to place the basket inside it. Now close the lid. Let's turn on the stove. I'm going to keep in medium. Medium is usually good. Now we are going to add coconut oil, about a tablespoon. This Poriyal doesn't take a lot of oil, so little goes a long way. Once the oil melts, we can add mustard seeds. About half a teaspoon. Now at this point, without waiting for that to crackle, I'm gonna add the red chilies. If you are using red chilies like me, like this, open and let the seeds get into the oil, because when you add it to the oil, it'll flavor the oil, add the spiciness to it. If you are adding green chilies, ensure you slit it or cut it into half. Don't add the whole green chili, because in the pressure that will build up, there is moisture content in green chili, it'll burst. So you don't want that. So you cut it or slit it and add the green chili if you're adding green chili. At this point, see, as you can see, the oil is turning color wherever we added the red chili. That's what you want. Now add the urad dal. I'm adding about a teaspoon, and that dal needs to sort of roast, become light brown. You can also slowly hear the mustard seeds starting to crackle, splatter. You can give it a quick mix. And the dal is also starting to brown. You don't want it to become black, roast too much. At this point, add asafoetida. You can reduce the flame a little bit until you add the vegetables. Now you can add the vegetables. Give it a quick mix. And if you remember, we haven't added salt for the cabbage yet. So I'm going to add the salt now. I'm eyeballing it, and always you can add more after you taste it as well. At this point, I'm adding the curry leaves. Some folks like to add the curry leaves in the oil as well when we season it. The only thing is, it'll again burst and splatter all over your kitchen stove. So I like to add it as I'm cooking. I'm making the fire back to medium. And this is the color you want. In some households, we like to add turmeric powder as well in this at this point. It'll, you will get a yellow cabbage curry, but that turmeric also adds a different flavor. You can try it, but this is the traditional approach that I'm teaching you today. And this is how we serve South Indian. If this channel is new to you, welcome. Subscribe now so you don't miss a story, recipe, festival guide, or a bhajan. Until next time, eat well, cook with love, and remember where you come from. From my kitchen to yours, this is Pooja the Pantry.